Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Dollar weaker stocks on pause. A will stimulus never come analysis. http ntvforex.com news ID B4982D8132020 10:08:36 am markets flat. Australia labour beats. Nikkei 1.78%, DAX 0.09%. UST 10 Y 0.66. Oil $42. Gold $1,933 ounce. TUSD $11,293. NBSP Asia and the EU AUD Labour data 114K versus 30K. No data. Markets were quiet in listless August summer trade. WTH equities essentially flat, while in FX the dollar was weaker across the board, losing 50 against both euro and cable. With little progress on the negotiations in Washington, D.C., the bulls may be running out of excuses to take risk assets higher, while the buck may be seeing a mild outflow of capital offer as investors remain uncertain about the U.S. economic future. The state of negotiations in D.C. remains grim, with both sides widely apart and neither side willing to make much of an effort to compromise. That is leaving an increasingly smaller margin of error for the U.S. economy to rebound strongly into the end of the year if the consumer does not have fiscal support, as unemployment income streams run out and job opportunities remain scarce. This pressure point can become particularly acute in September, when many PPP schemes run out and small businesses may be forced to do another set of layoffs. For now, the market remains steadfast in its belief that some sort of a compromise will be reached, and equities continue to move forward on momentum alone, with S&amp reaching all-time highs yesterday, the fastest recovery of a bear market on record. Still, with each passing day, the bulls are running out of ammunition and equities look ready for at least some sort of a correction if not action takes place in Washington. On the currency front, the calendar was very quiet, with only Australian labour data on the docket. Aussie jobs report beat handily, with 114K jobs generated versus 30K ID, with both part-time and full-time jobs rising from the month prior. The reaction in the currency was muted, however, with a pop of only 10 pips or so in post-news dealing, as the market is looking past the July data to August numbers, which could be a lot more problematic given the level 4 lockdowns in Victoria, the country's second most populous state. The Aussie remained steady, but just under the 0.7200 figure all night long. The Eurist, however, was much better bid, rising 50 pips in early European trade as anti-dollar flows remained strong. The lack of coordination and cooperation in the US, in contrast to a much unified effort at stimulus in Europe, continues to dog the greenback, and Eurist bulls remain focused on the key January 2000 level in the weeks ahead, which appears likely to be taken out if the dysfunction in DC remains. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Markets strike back analysis. http ntvforex.com news ID 451655 8/13/2020 10:042 am US dollar September USD down at 93.130. Energies September 20 crude is up at 42.78. Financials: the September 2030 year bond is up 16 ticks and trading at 179.09. Indices: the September S&amp 500 MNIES contract is 4 ticks lower and trading at 3,369.00. Gold: the August 20th gold contract is trading down at 1944.20. Gold is 48 ticks lower than its close. NBSP initial conclusion: this is not a correlated market. The dollar is down and crude is up, which is normal, but the 30-year bond is trading higher. The financials should always correlate with the US dollar, such that if the dollar is lower then bonds should follow and vice versa. The S&amp is lower and crude is trading higher, which is correlated. Gold is trading lower, which is not correlated with the US dollar trading down. I tend to believe that gold has an inverse relationship with the US dollar, as when the US dollar is down, gold tends to rise in value and vice versa. Think of it as a seesaw: when one is up the other should be down. I point this out to you to make you aware that when we don't have a correlated market, it means something is wrong. As traders, you need to be aware of this and proceed with your eyes wide open. At this time, Asia is trading mixed with half the exchanges higher and the other half lower. Currently, all of Europe is trading lower. NBSP possible challenges to traders today. Unemployment claims are out at 8:30 a.m. Estate. This is major. Import prices is out at 8:30 a.m. Estate. This is major. Natural gas storage is out at 10:30 a.m. Estate. This is major. 30Y bond auction starts at 1 p.m. Estate major. NBSP Treasuries VE elected to switch gears a bit and show correlation between the 30-year bond ZB and the S&amp futures contract. The S&amp contract is the Standard & Poor's and the purpose is to show reverse correlation between the two instruments. Remember, it's likened to a seesaw, when up goes up the other should go down and vice versa. Yesterday the ZB made its move at around 8:45 a.m. Estate. The ZB hit a high at around that time and the S&amp moved higher. If you look at the charts below, ZB gave a signal at around 8:45 a.m. Estate and the S&amp moved higher at around the same time. Look at the charts below and you'll see a pattern for both assets. ZB hit a high at around 8:45 a.m. Estate and the S&amp was moving higher shortly thereafter. These charts represent the newest version of multi-charts and I've changed the time frame to a 15-minute chart to display better. This represented a shorting opportunity on the 30-year bond. As a trader, you could have netted about 20 ticks per contract on this trade. Each tick is worth $31.25. Please note the front month for the ZB is now September 20. The S&amp contract has been changed to September 20. I've changed the format to Renko bars such that it may be more apparent and visible. Charts courtesy of multi-charts built on an AMP platform. NBSP bias. Yesterday we gave the markets an upside bias as the USD, bonds, and gold were all trading lower yesterday morning, and this usually reflects an upside day. The markets didn't disappoint as the Dow gained 290 points and the other indices gained ground as well. Today we aren't dealing with a correlated market and our bias is neutral. Could this change? Of course. Remember, anything can happen in a volatile market. NBSP commentary. Yesterday the markets shook off the news from the Russian vaccine and focused on fundamentals. The markets were poised to go higher and they did. No mystery here, just market correlation in action. Today we have unemployment claims which are taking on a more stronger stance since this pandemic struck. Additionally, we have natural gas storage and a 30-year bond auction. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. VXRT Stock Price. Vaxart Inc. plummets on Russian coronavirus vaccine announcement. ntvforex.com News ID 5BEB353 3 minutes ago by stocks reporter. Nasdaq VXRT dropped by 14.42% after Tuesday's surge. NBSP Vaxart Inc. files for clinical testing on humans for their COVID-19 oral vaccine. NBSP. The COVID-19 immunization vaccine industry takes a hit as Russia announces successful treatment. NBSP. Nasdaq VXRT has taken a dive on Wednesday, just 24 hours after a 30% spike in the stock's price following news of the company successfully filing for an investigational new drug application. VXRT shares fell 14.42% on Wednesday, ending the trading session at $9.20, completely erasing the gains that were made the previous day. The IND application by Vaxart is the first big step towards obtaining FDA approval to distribute the treatment, a process that usually takes up to 6 months to complete, although timelines under Operation Warp Speed have been greatly diminished. NBSP. The news of a Russian coronavirus vaccine hit the industry hard on Tuesday and the investor sell-off continued. Many of Vaxart Inc.'s competitors were also down over 10% on Wednesday, including iBio-Nizamt IBIO, Novavax Nasdaq NVAX, and Heat Biologics Nasdaq HTBX. Despite American scientists being skeptical of the Russian vaccine, investors hoping to hit the coronavirus jackpot are quickly abandoning many of these small biotech firms. Moderna Nasdaq mRNA is one of the only COVID-19 stocks to remain in the green after the U.S. government has agreed to order 100 million doses of their vaccine in a deal worth over $1.5 billion. NBSP VXRT Stock Forecast. NBSP: It could be a rough road ahead for Vaxart Incorporated investors, if the coronavirus sell-off continues. First, the efficacy and legitimacy of Russia's COVID-19 treatment should be proven before investors cut ties with these biotech firms. VXRT could still get the short end of the stick as much of the U.S. government funding has gone to the bigger firms like Moderna, Johnson & Johnson NICE J&J, and Pfizer NICE PFE. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. GBP USD advance looks like merely a dead cat bounce at ntvforex.com. News ID CE2DCD 6 minutes ago by NTV Forex team. GBP USD is trading around 1.3080 after hitting daily highs at 1.3093. Meanwhile, Thursday's 4-hour chart is showing downtrend resistance is looming over the cable. Yohai Elam, an analyst at NTV Forex, reports. Key quotes: A cable has bounced off the double bottom of 1.3005 mentioned earlier, and momentum on the 4-hour chart has turned positive but only just. On the other hand, downside resistance that began last week is looming over GBP USD. NBSP resistance awaits at 1.31, where the downtrend currently hits the price. It is followed by 1.3135 as the next cap after holding pound-dollar down earlier this week, and the August peak of 1.3183 is next. NBSP below 1.3005, the next level to watch is 1.2950, which was a cushion in late July. It is followed by 1.2905 and 1.2845. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Nikkei 225 to move sharply higher towards 24,115. A credit Suisse at ntvforex.com. News ID BFD 3482 minutes ago by NTV Forex team. The Nikkei surged higher on Thursday, ending the session up 1.78% and above the 23,185 range high. This completes the bull trianglia continuation pattern, which signals a move to 24,115 initially, economists at Credit Suisse inform. Key quotes: We now look for a move towards medium-term resistance, seen starting at 23,970 24,000, the potential downtrend from the 2018 high and stretching up to 24,090 115, which is the 2019-20 highs. It's worth highlighting though that the measured triangle objective points even to an eventual breakout above here to test the 2018 high at 24450. Reinforcing the breakout is the fact that daily MACD has now crossed higher for first time since June. We now ideally look for the market to hold above 23,185.10 to keep the risks directly higher. However, only a move below 22,670 would negate the trianglia to leave the market trapped within its range again, which is not our base case. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Catalyst and the AXA factor for gold analysis. http://ntvforex.com news ID 1896888132020 10:18 am. Probably a lot of gold investors are losing money after Tuesday's massive price drop. NBSP. Some of our articles have warned of the vulnerability of buying that has exceeded the annual highs of 1920.90 and 2000 prices. Some analysts and banks have put the likely high projection of $2,000 to $2,100 gold, but the problem with trying to predict a major correction is a risky challenge, and before that happens you have to be prepared to lose a lot of profits. Gold's annual upward trend is 8% since leaving the standard gold in the early 1970s was very similar to the 10% yearly return of the stock market that was relentless over the same range. With equity at record price-sales ratio, GDP price to economic output and NBSP cycle-adjusted price-to-income ratio evaluation measure typically applied to the S&amp 500 equity market, defined as price divided by 10-year average income and adjusted for inflation, NBSP precious metals are still attractive offer assets, as a hedge against the regular devaluation of the currency. Based on its price relative to the dollar in circulation, M1 money supply, treasury debt, and stock market value, the average price of gold over the past 5 decades has been close to $2,300 an ounce. NBSP using historical price benchmarks and adjustments for world money printing, today's price is around $1,900 per ounce. NBSP gold remains NBSP undervalued NBSP in the long run. NBSP, however, this is a basis for calculating the data. In fact, NBSP political risks, stimulus in the face of the inevitable recession, geopolitical tensions are also factors that raise the price of gold. The decline in the value of the paper dollar against other fiat currencies was a catalyst for gold. NBSP historically, the NBSP dollar index NBSP has fallen 15-20% in 3-4 months. NBSP, and today we have witnessed a decline of NBSP 11.05% NBSP starting from March high price of NBSP 103.93 NBSP weakening to low price of NBSP 92.45 NBSP in August 5 months apart. NBSP large moves in gold are usually a function of the decline in the local currency. Lower dollar is very supportive of rising gold prices. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. S&amp 500 no downside follow-through suggests all-time high is on track. Video analysis http://ntvforex.com news ID 5C3F65 8/13/2020 10:17:33 am. Check out the video for a complete walkthrough of the daily market analysis of S&amp 500 futures ES for August 13, 2020 trading session. In this video, I am going to show you the market recap on the last session and trade reviews in the 3 minutes time frame, including entry, exit, and the rationale behind. Going forward, I will cover the bias, the key levels to pay attention to, the potential setup for the US session later. Check out my daily market analysis video on last session if you have a T in order to better relate to the market recap and the trade review. Bias: a neutral day trading bullish long-term key levels: a resistance 3385, a 3400, support 3360, a 3365, 3335, a 3345, 3300, 3273, 3230 potential setup: a look for potential short near 3360 upon rejection or long on rebound from 3330. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. WYNN Resorts Stock shares pullback after Tuesday's travel visa news. NTVForex.com news ID 039C034 minutes ago by stocks reporter. Nasdaq WYNN drops by 2.82% on Wednesday after the previous day's surge. NBSP gaming industry companies are on the rise as Macau begins to reopen. Nasdaq WYNN has trimmed some of the gains recorded on Tuesday as patient shareholders of the prestigious casino brand pocketed some of their profits. After gaining more than 10% since the beginning of the week, WYNN's stock price fell back 2.82% on Wednesday to close the trading session at $85.80, still some of the highest levels since the COVID-19 pandemic took off back in February. NBSP: the coronavirus has proved to be especially difficult for the gaming industry to deal with as mass closures of casinos around the world have cut revenues down to a fraction of what they were pre-pandemic. WYNN reported a decrease in revenues of 94.80% year-over-year and a diluted earnings per share figure of 10.46. The casino and hotel closures led to some of the lowest stock prices for WYNN in recent memory, trading at nearly 50% lower than today's already deflated levels. NBSP: nevertheless, things are looking up for the luxury casino brand, though, as it was announced earlier in the week that Macau's neighboring city of Zhuhai will begin to reissue exit tourist visas as of Wednesday. As well, non-tourism visas for travel to Macau from every province in China will begin to be reissued, signaling a gradual reopening of travel and gaming in Macau, which accounts for nearly 90% of WYNN's gambling revenues. NBSP WYNN stock price: it has been a week of recovery for the casino and gaming industry as WYNN rivals MGM Nikkei MGM, Las Vegas Sands Nikkei LVS, Melco Resorts Nasdaq MLCO, and even Penn National Gaming Nasdaq Penn all enjoyed positive gains through the first part of the week. As Macau slowly reopens, companies like WYNN should start to see increases in revenues, but investors should still be wary. It could be well into 2021 before the world sees the casino and gaming industry return to pre-COVID levels of profitability. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Singapore GDP contraction seen losing traction in H2 2020 AUOB http ntvforex.com news ID DBBD814 minutes ago by Pablo Piovano. Barnabas Gan, economist at UOB Group, assessed the latest GDP figures in Singapore. Key quotes: A Singapore's 2Q20 GDP contracted 13.2% YY 42.9% QQ SAR, down from the previous advanced estimates which registered 2Q20 GDP at 12.6% YY 41.2% QQ SAR. The final GDP print solidifies Singapore's first technical recession since 1Q09, and the worst contraction on record. The downgrade from the advanced estimates was primarily led by a fall in manufacturing activity, which fell 0.7% in 2Q20, down from advanced estimates of 2.5%. As highlighted in our 2Q20 GDP preview, we believe that the contraction in GDP will trough in 2Q20, given the circuit breaker and phase 1 restrictions in this period. Thereafter, we expect GDP to remain in contraction but at a more moderate pace in the second half of 2020. Still, COVID-19-led concerns, coupled with brewing geopolitical and trade tensions in the background, are key drags to Singapore's recovery in 2H 2020. Given the protracted COVID-19 situation worldwide amid the persistent downturn in Singapore's construction and services sector, we downgrade our full-year GDP outlook to 5.0% in 2020, down from 4.0% previously. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. AUD/USD erases large portion of employment-inspired gains, trades around 0.7170 http ntvforex.com news ID 1C8-06 minutes ago by Aaron Senghezer AUD/USD surged higher toward 0.7200 during Asian session on Thursday. Full-time employment in Australia rose more than expected in July. Cautious market mood keeps risk-sensitive AUD's gains limited. The AUD-USD pair jumped to a daily high of 0.7188 in the early trading hours of the Asian session, boosted by the upbeat labour market data from Australia. However, the risk-averse market environment made it difficult for the pair to preserve its bullish momentum. As of writing, the pair was still up 0.1% on a daily basis at 0.7169. AUD rally remains short-lived. The monthly data published by the Australian Bureau of Statistics revealed that the unemployment rate edged higher to 7.5% in July but came in better than the market expectation of 7.8%. More importantly, full-time employment surged by 43.5k during that period following June's decline of 38.1k. Meanwhile, the cautious market mood, as reflected by slumping European equity indexes, is keeping the risk-sensitive AUD's gains limited. Furthermore, the 10-year U.S. Treasury bond yield, which rose for 4 straight days, is staying on the back foot on Wednesday, not allowing the greenback to capitalize on risk-off flows. During the American session on Thursday, the U.S. Department of Labor will release its weekly initial jobless claims data. A reading below 1 million could trigger a fresh risk rally in the second half of the day and help AUD/USD start pushing higher. In the Asian session on Friday, the Reserve Bank of Australia Governor Philip Lowe is scheduled to deliver a speech. Technical levels to watch for AUD/USD overview today: last price 0.7169, today daily change 0.0007, today daily change percent 0.10, today daily open 0.7162, NBSP trends daily SMA 20 0.713, daily SMA 50 0.7007, daily SMA 100 0.6712, daily SMA 200 0.6709, NBSP levels: previous daily high 0.7177, previous daily low 0.7108, previous weekly high 0.7244, previous weekly low 0.7076, previous monthly high 0.7228, previous monthly low 0.6876, daily Fibonacci 38.2%, 0.7151, daily Fibonacci 61.8%, 0.7135, daily pivot point S1 0.7121. Daily pivot point S2 0.7081, daily pivot point S3 0.7053, daily pivot point R1 0.719, daily pivot point R2 0.7218, daily pivot point R3 0.7258, NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me/mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. GBP/USD pendulum swings against the dollar but insufficient for a rally. ntvforex.com news ID B906816 minutes ago by NTV Forex team. GBP/USD has been bouncing as the greenback dropped after US bond yields dropped following the bond auction, but the dollar's weakness looks insufficient to break the downtrend resistance. WYNN's more, concerns about the British economy remain prevalent and may weigh on the pound, and Forex's analyst Yohai Elam inform. Key quotes: A. The greenback gained ground after the US completed a massive auction worth $38 billion. Yields advanced before the offering, carrying the dollar higher with it, and then dropped, resuming the medium-term trend. A. Other factors weighing on the world's reserve currency include America's persistently high coronavirus statistics, the ongoing impasse in Washington over the next fiscal relief package, and uncertainty over the economy's performance. Weekly jobless claims will provide first figures for the current month and carry cautiously optimistic expectations. The dollar pendulum could swing back up. China and the US will hold officials' talks to take stock of the trade deal, and Beijing is already hinting it has a long list of grievances and that it could move away from the deal. NBSPA cable's impediments mostly come from the British side. The economy shrank by 20.4% in the second quarter, a better than expected but a devastating figure. More importantly, the government is preparing the public for a surge in unemployment. Rishi Sunak, Chancellor of the Exchequer, has been reiterating that the successful furlough scheme is unsustainable and stated that many people will lose their jobs. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Your JPY price analysis up. You go to ntvforex.com. News ID E0720C 4 minutes ago by Pablo Piavano. Your JPY quickly cleared the 126.00 mark on Thursday. Further up now aligns the March 2019 high in the mid 127.00s. Your JPY extends the recovery on the back of the broad-based improvement in the risk-associated universe in the second half of the week. Further gains are thus expected amidst the current positive environment, and there are no relevant hurdles until the March 2019 high in the 127.50 region. It is worth mentioning, however, that the cross has already entered the overbought territory, as per the daily RSI. The constructive view around your JPY is predicted to remain unchanged while above the 200-day SMA at 120.18. Your JPY weekly chart. Your JPY overview today. Last price 126.57 today. Daily change 71 today. Daily change percent 0.47 today. Daily open 125.98. NBSP trends. Daily SMA 20 124.09. Daily SMA 50 122.36. Daily SMA 100 119.95. Daily SMA 200 120. 100.2 NBSP levels. Previous daily high 126.22. Previous daily low 124.95. Previous weekly high 125.59. Previous weekly low 123.99. Previous monthly high 125.21. Previous monthly low 120.26. Daily Fibonacci 38.2%. 125.74. Daily Fibonacci 61.8%. 125.44. Daily pivot point S1 125.22. Daily pivot point S2 124.45. Daily pivot point S3 123.95. Daily pivot point R1 126.48. Daily pivot point R2 126.98. Daily pivot point R3 127.75. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Gold price analysis. XAU/USD extends Friday AS weakness below $2.030. http ntvforex.com. News ID BFAD6 4 minutes ago by Anil Panchal. Gold prices fail to extend late Friday pullback from $2,015. US dollar attempts recovery as upbeat employment data, fresh risk-off moves gain support from President Trump's executive orders. Market reaction to the American actions. Virus headlines will be the key to follow. Gold drops to $2,027 amid the initial Asian trading session on Monday. The yellow metal's latest declines can be considered as an extension to Friday's losses that were the biggest in 2 months. Although coronavirus COVID-19 concerns to keep the bullion's safe haven demand intact, the recent strength in the US dollar could be cited as the reason behind the fresh fall. Is it the much-needed move? Having surged more than 11% in July, gold buyers are likely getting tensed during early August. The reason could be traced from the US dollar's latest U-turn from the lowest in 2 years. The greenback initially gained momentum as the executive orders sanctioning Hong Kong leader Carrie Lam and banning business with TikTok and WeChat triggered the rush to risk safety. The moves gained additional strength after July month employment data from the US managed to defy further pessimism, even not marking much optimism. US NFP grew 1.763 million while the unemployment rate stood at 10.2% during Friday's reading. The moves gained an extra boost as US President Donald Trump signed 4 other executive orders during the weekend. These 4 orders attack the stimulus deadlock by allowing $400 unemployment benefits, stopping house evictions for those living in rented houses with federal financial support and ease recovery of student loans. Against this backdrop, Wall Street struggled to keep the bulls happy as Nasdaq dropped after declines in tech shares. Though, the US 10-year Treasury yields managed to stay positive near 0.56%. Currently, S&P 500 futures drops 0.07% to 3,344 by the press time. Looking forward, China's July month inflation data may decorate the economic calendar, but the absence of Japanese traders could curb the market volatility. Though, risk catalysts are less likely to be ignored. Among them, the Sino-American tension and virus news will gain major attention. While the present weakness in the yellow metal keeps sellers hopeful, bulls are still in the driver's seat as neither the pandemic is over nor the bullion trades below $2,000. Technical analysis: an ascending trend line from July 21 at $2,030 offers immediate support to the bullion ahead of $2,000 psychological magnet. On the upside, 61.8% Fibonacci expansion FE of 2001-2011 near $2,077 becomes the key resistance holding the gate for further north run towards the $2,100 threshold. Additional important levels overview: today last price 2027.13, today daily change 8.03, today daily change percent 0.39%, today daily open 2035.16, NBSP trends daily SMA 2019-14.43, daily SMA 50-1815.93, daily SMA 100-1750.33, daily SMA 200-1642.89, NBSP levels: previous daily high 2075.32, previous daily low 2015.68, previous weekly high 2075.32, previous weekly low 1960.67, previous monthly high 1984.8, previous monthly low 1757.7, daily Fibonacci 38.2%, 2038.46, daily Fibonacci 61.8%, 2052.54, daily pivot point S1 2008.79, daily pivot point S2 1982.41, daily pivot point S3 1949.15, daily pivot point R1 2068.43, daily pivot point R2 2101.69, daily pivot point R3 2128.07, NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. India industrial production recovery looks unlikely in 2020. AUOB http ntvforex.com news ID C2E2384 4 minutes ago by Pablo Piovano, economist at UOB Group. Barnabas Gann reviewed the performance of the industrial sector in the Indian economy. Key quotes: India's industrial production fell 16.6% YY in June 2020, clocking 4 straight months of contraction. Accounting for the latest print, India's 1Q FY 2021 industrial production fell 35.9% YY, down from 3.0% YY in the same period last year. The fall in industrial production was dragged by the sustained plunge in India's core industries performance, 15.0% YY in June. Nonetheless, the pace of contraction has eased substantially from April's decline of 57.6%, suggesting that manufacturing momentum has gradually improved after India exited from its nationwide lockdown on April 20, 2020 AA. There remains a high degree of uncertainty surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on global growth. Due to the evolving COVID-19 situation worldwide, India's external environment and manufacturing momentum may stay in contraction zone at least till the end of 2020. We downgrade our forecast for India's industrial production to contract by 15.0% in FY 2020-21, down from our prior outlook of 4.0%. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. A pickup in EUR/USD has prevented the market from topping out. Video analysis http ntvforex.com news ID 02C43C813 2020 10:54 am EUR/USD. Although the dollar has been looking stronger in recent sessions, there has been a pickup in EUR/USD which has prevented the market from topping out. We have discussed previously the importance of 1.1695 support, and this is clearly a level that the Euro bulls want to defend, at least for now. Yesterday's candle rallied from 1.1710 to post a positive close which keeps the dollar bulls at bay. Furthermore, there has been a move above 1.1800 which has once more neutralized the immediate potential for a top pattern. The hourly chart shows that throughout the past couple of weeks, 1.1800 has been the basis of a mid-range pivot, and in moving above this pivot today, the outlook begins to improve once more. Hourly indicators show a ranging configuration developing, with hourly RSI between 30-70 being the classic representation of this. Initial support is now 1.1780 to maintain the neutral aspect of this move. Initial resistance is at 1.1850. We are still on alert as to how this more than 2-week consolidation range will develop, and given the slide back in daily momentum, we believe there is still a risk of a top pattern formation. However, a second positive candle completing today, with a move above 1.1800 would maintain this neutral stance. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. U.S. initial jobless claims preview. Lower claims, higher dollar. ntvforex.com news ID FF8AFC 6 minutes ago by NTV Forex team. Initial jobless claims expected to edge down from pandemic low. Dollar has stabilized after falling for 3 weeks and will respond to better or worse claims. Lower claims is a sign of economic acceleration and, therefore, USD would advance, and Forex's analyst Joseph Trevisani reports. Key quotes: initial jobless claims in the week of August 7 are forecast to fall to 1.140 million, continuing the improvement that began with the prior week's drop to 1.186 million. The lowest since the pandemic began in March, while continuing claims are predicted to decrease to 15.898 million from 16.107 million the previous week. Also, the pandemic low. COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, and fatalities are in decline in almost all of the states. Manufacturing businesses are fielding the highest levels of new orders in a year and a half. The service sector, which comprises about 85% of U.S. economic activity, had a record level of incoming orders in July. A logical response to such business conditions would be to rehire workers. The risk to the claims number, especially after the unexpected improvement last week, is to the downside. If initial claims begin to fall, the dollar and U.S. economic prospects will surely rise. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. USD/JPY forecast holding just below 107.00. Analysis http ntvforex.com News ID 87BC4C8132020 10:57:47 AM USD/JPY current price 106.82. Japanese machine tool orders plummeted 31.1% YoY in July, according to preliminary estimates. U.S. initial jobless claims foreseen at 1.12 m from 1.18 m in the previous week. USD/JPY is trading near 107.00 with the risk skewed to the upside. The USD/JPY pair is trading near its recent highs in the 107.00 price zone, holding on to gains but unable to run amid decreased interest on the greenback. Safe haven assets, however, have been unable to appreciate, but instead consolidate around their Wednesday's closing levels. NBSP supporting the pair, government bond yields hold near their recent one-month highs. Equities, on the other hand, trade mostly in the red, although not far from their opening levels. Japan published at the beginning of the day the July Producer Price Index, which was up 0.6% in the month, and down 0.9% when compared to a year earlier, both figures beating expectations. Machine tool orders, in the same month, plummeted 31.1% YoY. The US will publish today its usually weekly unemployment data. Initial jobless claims are foreseen at 1.12 m down from 1.18 m in the previous week. USD/JPY short-term technical outlook. The USD/JPY pair continues to comfortably consolidate around 106.80. The short-term picture indicates that the risk is skewed to the upside, as the price remains above its 200 SMA, which provides intraday support around 106.56, the daily low. The 20 SMA maintains its bullish slope, further advancing above the 100 SMA. Technical indicators, in the meantime, hold well above their midlines, although lacking directional strength. A break below the daily low should open doors for a steeper decline towards the 105.70 price zone. Support levels 106.55, 106.25, 105.70. NBSP resistance levels 107.00, 107.45, 107.80. View live chart for the USD/JPY NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me/mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. GBP CAD rebounds from near 1.7235. Analysis http ntvforex.com News ID A351D58132020 10:57:16 AM GBP CAD traded higher on Thursday, after it hit support near the crossroads of the 1.7235 level and the upside support line drawn from the low of June 30. This suggests that there are decent chances for the recovery to continue for a while more, but bearing in mind that the rate is also trading below a newly established downside resistance line taken from the high of July 31, we will take a flat approach for now. In order to get confident on a larger recovery, we would like to see a break above the 1.7390 level, marked as a resistance by yesterday's high. This move would also take the rate above the aforementioned downside line and may initially aim for the 1.7455 level, the break of which could pave the way towards the peak of August 7, at around 1.7530. If that level fails to throw the bulls out of the field, a break higher may set the stage for extensions towards the 1.7590 zone. Near the high of August 3. Taking a look at our short-term oscillators, we see that the RSI exited its below 30 zone and is now pointing up, while the MACD, although below both its zero and trigger lines, shows signs of bottoming as well. Both indicators suggest that the downside momentum is dissipating, but the fact that they are both still below their equilibrium lines enhances our choice to wait for a move above 1.7390 before we consider larger advances. On the downside, we would like to see a dip below yesterday's low of 1.7235 before we assess whether the outlook has turned bearish. Such a slide will also drive the pair below the upside line taken from the low of June 30th, and may encourage the bears to target the 1.7160 zone, defined as a support by the inside swing highs of July 15th and 21st. If they are strong enough to overcome that zone as well, then we may see larger declines, perhaps towards the 1.7010 zone, which acted as a decent support between July 17th and 23rd. NBSPJFDbank.com One-stop multi-asset experience for trading and investment services. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Pound sterling price news and forecast. GBP USD bulls remain at the mercy of USD price dynamics. NTVForex.com news ID 3C87473. 3 minutes ago by NTV Forex team. GBP USD pendulum swings against the dollar but insufficient for a rally. GBP USD has been bouncing as the greenback dropped after US bond yields dropped following the bond auction, but the dollar's weakness looks insufficient to break the downtrend resistance. WYNN more. Concerns about the British economy remain prevalent and may weigh on the pound, and Forex's analyst Johan Elam inform. Key quotes: A. The greenback gained ground after the US completed a massive auction worth $38 billion. Yields advanced before the offering, carrying the dollar higher with it, and then dropped, resuming the medium-term trend. A. Read more. NBSP GBP USD analysis. Bulls remain at the mercy of USD price dynamics. The GBP USD pair edged lower for the second consecutive session on Wednesday and dropped to over 1-week lows, albeit managed to find decent support near the key 1.3000 psychological mark. A record drop in Britain's economic output during the second quarter of 2020 was outweighed by the emergence of some fresh selling around the US dollar, which was seen as a key factor lending some support to the major. The preliminary figures showed that the UK economy contracted by 20.4% in the second quarter of 2020 as compared to a 2.2% contraction recorded in the previous quarter. 2 consecutive periods of contraction means that the British economy is now in a technical recession. Meanwhile, the monthly report showed that the economy recorded a stronger than expected growth of 8.7% in June as against consensus estimates pointing to a reading of 8%. Read more. NBSP GBP USD climbs to session tops, eyeing to reclaim 1.3100 mark. The GBP USD pair jumped to fresh session tops in the last hour, with bulls now eyeing a move towards reclaiming the 1.3100 round figure mark. The pair gained some positive traction on Thursday, snapping 2 consecutive days of the losing streak and recovered further from the key 1.3000 psychological mark, or over 1-week lows set in the previous day. The positive move was exclusively sponsored by the prevalent offered tone surrounding the US dollar, which remained depressed in the wake of the impasse over the next round of the US fiscal stimulus. Read more. GBP USD overview. Today last price 1.3101. Today daily change 0.0067. Today daily change percent 0.51. Today daily open 1.3034. NBSP trends. Daily SMA 20 1.2919. Daily SMA 50 1.2687. Daily SMA 100 1.2529. Daily SMA 200 1.2712. NBSP levels. Previous daily high 1.3068. Previous daily low 1.3006. Previous weekly high 1.3186. Previous weekly low 1.2982. Previous monthly high 1.317. Previous monthly low 1.236. Daily Fibonacci 38.2%. 1.3029. Daily Fibonacci 61.8%. 1.3044. Daily pivot point S1 1.3004. Daily pivot point S2 1.2973. Daily pivot point S3 1.2941, daily pivot point R1 1.3066, daily pivot point R2 1.3098, daily pivot point R3 1.3128. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. USD/JPY nears 107.00 with risk skewed to the upside at pntvforex.com. News ID 500AC 6 minutes ago by NTV Forex team. The USD/JPY pair continues to comfortably consolidate around 106.80 but unable to run amid decreased interest on the greenback. On the data front, Japanese machine tool orders plummeted 31.1% YoY in July, while U.S. initial jobless claims are foreseen at 1.12 m from 1.18 m in the previous week, and Forex's chief analyst Valeria Bednarik reports. Key quotes: A supporting the pair, government bond yields hold near their recent one-month highs. Equities, on the other hand, trade mostly in the red, although not far from their opening levels. Japan published the July Producer Price Index, which was up 0.6% in the month, and down 0.9% when compared to a year earlier, both figures beating expectations. Machine tool orders, in the same month, plummeted 31.1% YoY. The US will publish today its usually weekly unemployment data. Initial jobless claims are foreseen at 1.12 m, down from 1.18 m in the previous week. The short-term picture indicates that the risk is skewed to the upside, as the price remains above its 200 SMA, which provides intraday support around 106.56, the daily low. The 20 SMA maintains its bullish slope, further advancing above the 100 SMA. A break below the daily low should open doors for a steeper decline towards the 105.70 price zone. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. RBNZ stance expected to remain accommodative. AUOB http ntvforex.com. News ID B80BF 4 minutes ago by Pablo Piavano. Lee Suan, economist at UOB Group, sees the RBNZ clinging to its loose stance when comes to monetary conditions. Key quotes: At its latest monetary policy, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand RBNZ decided to expand its quantitative easing QE program. The central bank increased its large-scale asset program LSAP to as much as NZD 100 BN from NZD 60 BN, and extended it until June 2022. The official cash rate OCR remained at the record low of 0.25%, but the RBNZ said it is open to cutting interest rates further, including taking them negative. Today's decision to expand QE was in line with our expectations, except that we were expecting QE to be expanded to a cap of NZD 90 BNA. In fact, the case for further significant monetary easing is clear, as inflation is set to tumble and unemployment climbing higher. The RBNZ will want to keep its options open. In this regard, a negative OCR and foreign asset purchases will remain options on the table. On the former, we recognize how this will have a negative impact on bank margins. For now, we do not see any cuts to the OCR for the remainder of the year. On QE, we currently think a NZGB-centric program will remain the main monetary policy tool, but the RBNZ may consider expanding the program to include other assets, including foreign assets. This could help cap excessive gains in the New Zealand dollar. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. The outlook for USD/JPY has improved considerably. Video analysis http://ntvforex.com News ID 148116 8/13/2020 11:08:23 AM USD/JPY. The outlook for dollar-yen has improved considerably in the past few sessions, but can this continue in the wake of the payrolls report last Friday? US bond yields have taken off and this has pulled dollar-yen sharply higher. Technically, the move above 106.60 has been a key positive break. It confirms an improvement of higher lows 105.30 above 104.17 and now higher highs 2 above 106.45. Daily momentum indicators are improving, with the RSI and stochastics at 6-week highs, whilst MACD lines are accelerating higher off a bull cross. As the market builds an uptrend of recovery which comes in at 106.40 today, the close above 106.60 now opens the bigger test of the first real lower high of the sell-off, up at 107.50. Despite this, the first real test of this recovery is being seen this morning. As the market has slipped back from yesterday's high of 107.00, the hourly chart shows the market coming back towards 106.45–106.60 breakout levels. This is near-term pivot support that, if the bulls are in control, should be seen as a chance to buy again. A close back under 106.00 would be a key disappointment now and suggest a bull failure. This recovery is now at a key crossroads. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. GBP USD, a corrective move. Dollar strengthening is still threatening. Video analysis http://ntvforex.com News ID 166DC 3813/2020 11:04:12 AM GBP USD. There is a growing ranging look to several of these major forex pairs as the dollar bulls just take a step back again this morning. This is pulling cable marginally higher once more within its 205 pip 2-week trading band. Despite this, there is also the ongoing sense that a corrective move. Dollar strengthening is still threatening. Daily momentum indicators are sliding back, with the most pertinent signal being the negative cross on the MACD lines. This is the first negative cross since mid-June, when cable then was forming a near 3-week corrective slide. The support at 1.2980 has held so far this week and there is no price confirmation of a corrective move. However, we see the balance of candlesticks forming a negative bias now, where intraday rallies are seen to be a chance to sell. The lower high this week at 1.3130 adds to this negative bias, and a failure to overcome this resistance will see the threat of correction persist. The hourly chart indicators have a mild negative bias and we prefer to fade rallies towards the 1.3100 area, a basis of a mid-range pivot for pressure back towards 1.2980 in due course. A closing breach of 1.2980 would complete a top pattern and imply a move to test the previous breakout support at 1.2810 as a minimum. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. EUR/USD price analysis. Rising odds for a move above 1.19 http://ntvforex.com News ID 344A06 2 minutes ago by Pablo Piavano. EUR/USD stays firm and advances further north of 1.1800. The continuation of the trend should see the 2020 high retested. EUR/USD is prolonging the upside momentum and looks to consolidate the recent breakout of the key hurdle at 1.18. The figure. Against this, the bullish impetus is expected to gather traction and a leg higher to 1.19 and beyond should not be surprising in the short-term horizon. Looking at the broader picture, while above the critical 200-day SMA, today at 1.1117, the positive stance in EUR/USD should remain unaltered. EUR/USD daily chart. EUR/USD overview. Today last price 1.1843. Today daily change 76. Today daily change percent 0.50. Today daily open 1.1784. NBSP trends daily SMA 20 1.1692. Daily SMA 50 1.1448. Daily SMA 100 1.1184. Daily SMA 200 1.1116. NBSP levels. Previous daily high 1.1816. Previous daily low 1.1711. Previous weekly high January 1916. Previous weekly low 1.1696. Previous monthly high January 1909. Previous monthly low 1.1185. Daily Fibonacci 38.2%. 1.1776. Daily Fibonacci 61.8%. 1.1751. Daily pivot point S1 1.1725. Daily pivot point S2 1.1665. Daily pivot point S3 1.1619. Daily pivot point R1 1.183. Daily pivot point R2 1.1876. Daily pivot point R3 January 1935. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. USD CHF extends slide to 0.9100 amid broad-based USD weakness. NTVForex.com news ID F1BC611 minutes ago by Aaron Sengezer. USD CHF is falling for second straight day on Thursday. Markets turn risk-averse with major European equity indexes trading in red. US dollar index slumps to 93.00 area ahead of weekly jobless claims data. After rising above 0.9200 for the first time in more than a week on Wednesday, the USD-CHF pair turned south and snapped its 4-day losing streak. With the risk-averse market environment helping the CHF preserve its strength as a safe haven, the pair extended its slide and was last seen losing 0.2% on the day at 0.9102. USD on the back foot ahead of American session. Despite heightened optimism for an effective coronavirus treatment, investors seem to have turned cautious ahead of Friday's key data releases from the euro area. At the moment, major European equity indexes are down between 0.15% and 1.1%. Investors expect the Eurostat to announce that the euro area economy contracted by 15% on a yearly basis in the second quarter. On the other hand, the greenback is struggling to stage a rebound on Thursday, allowing the bearish pressure on USD-CHF to remain intact. Ahead of the U.S. Department of Labor's weekly initial jobless claims data, the U.S. dollar index is down 0.4% on a daily basis at 93.05. Meanwhile, S&P 500 futures are trading in the negative territory. Although it looks unlikely at this point, the USD could capitalize on a heavy sell-off in U.S. stock markets and provide a boost to USD-CHF. Technical levels to watch for USD-CHF overview. Today last price 0.9104. Today daily change 0.0016. Today daily change percent 0.18. Today daily open 0.912. NBSP trends daily SMA 20 0.9205. Daily SMA 50 0.9366. Daily SMA 100 0.9525. Daily SMA 200 0.9642. NBSP levels. Previous daily high 0.9198. Previous daily low 0.9097. Previous weekly high 0.9242. Previous weekly low 0.9051. Previous monthly high 0.9494. Previous monthly low 0.9056. Daily Fibonacci 38.2%. 0.9136. Daily Fibonacci 61.8%. 0.9159. Daily pivot point S1 0.9079. Daily pivot point S2 0.9038. Daily pivot point S3 0.8978. Daily pivot point R1 0.918. Daily pivot point R2 0.9239. Daily pivot point R3 0.928. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. GBP JPY price analysis reclaims 140.00 mark, highest since late February at ntvforex.com. News ID B925413. 3 minutes ago by Haresh Menghani. GBP JPY prolonged its recent bullish trend and jumped to the highest level since late February. The momentum marks a bullish breakthrough a 2-month-old upward sloping trend channel. Slightly overbought RSI on hourly daily charts warrants caution before placing fresh bullish bets. The GBP JPY cross surged past the key 140.00 psychological mark and shot to the highest level since late February during the mid-European session on Thursday. The mentioned level represented the top boundary of an ascending trend channel extending from late June. A move beyond marks a fresh breakout and might have already set the stage for an extension of the near-term bullish trend. Meanwhile, RSI 14 on hourly daily charts is pointing to slightly overbought conditions and warrants some caution for bullish traders. That said, the cross now seems poised to aim towards reclaiming the 141.00 round figure mark. On the flip side, any meaningful pullback might now be seen as a buying opportunity. This, in turn, should help limit the downside near the previous strong horizontal resistance breakpoint, now turned support near the 139.2015 area. Failure to defend the mentioned resistance turn support might prompt some technical selling and drag the cross back towards sub 138.00 levels, important horizontal support near the 137.80 region. GBP4 Japanese Yen hourly chart technical levels to watch. GBP JPY overview today. Last price 140.12 today. Daily change 0.77 today. Daily change percent 0.55 today. Daily open 139.35 NBSP trends. Daily SMA 20 137.1 daily SMA 50 135.61 daily SMA 100 134.37 daily SMA 200 137.49 NBSP levels. Previous daily high 139.62 previous daily low 138.88 previous weekly high 139.24 previous weekly low 137.75 previous monthly high 139.21 previous monthly low 132.95 daily Fibonacci 38.2% 139.34 daily Fibonacci 61.8% 139.16 daily pivot point S1 138.95 daily pivot point S2 138.54 daily pivot point S3 138.2 daily pivot point R1 139.69 daily pivot point R2 140.03 daily pivot point R3 140.43 NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Gold price news and forecast. Gold clings to modest gains near $1,930 level. Lacks follow-through. ntvforex.com news ID C47C8D. 5 minutes ago by NTV Forex team. Gold futures further decline not ruled out. Open interest in gold futures markets decreased by nearly 1.8k contracts following 2 consecutive daily builds on Wednesday, in light of flash data from CME Group. In the same line, volume extended the erratic activity as of late and shrunk by around 125.7k contracts. Gold could drop to $1,825 ounce. The ounce troy of the precious metal tested fresh 3-week lows on Wednesday before rebounding and closing the day with marginal gains. Shrinking open interest and volume accompanied this price action and now expose a potential move to the $1,825 area, where coincide a Fibo level of the June-August and the 55-day SMA. Read more, NBSP gold clings to modest gains near $1,930 level. Lacks follow-through. Gold edged higher during the Asian session on Thursday, albeit lacked any strong follow-through and remained well with the previous day's broader trading range. Following the previous day's good two-way price swings, the precious metal managed to regain some positive traction and was being supported by a weaker US dollar. The impasse over the next round of the US fiscal stimulus measures continued exerting some pressure on the greenback, which, in turn, was seen as a key factor lending support to the dollar-denominated commodity. Read more. NBSP gold bulls await a fresh impetus to revive the recovery momentum. Gold XAU/USD staged a solid $90 rebound from its brutal sell-off to three-week lows of $1,863.20 on Wednesday. The XAU bulls, however, faced stiff resistance near $1,950 levels and settled the day around $1,936. Overall, dollar weakness keeps the XAU bulls hopeful, with the reversal to be confirmed only above $1,960, NTV Forex Dwani Meta briefs. Key quotes: the yellow metal could continue to draw support from additional U.S. stimulus expectations and Fed policymakers' concerns over the economic recovery. Additionally, the sharp retreat in the U.S. Treasury yields could also bode well for the yieldless gold. Traders await the U.S. jobless claims data, with a likely drop in the claims seen boosting the U.S. stocks at the expense of the greenback. Therefore, the metal could keep its recovery mode intact from three-week lows going forward. Read more, NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Gold would have another strong opportunity to buy. Video analysis http://ntvforex.com. News ID 0DAD588132020 11:32:32 AM. Gold. When we discussed the rising 2-month uptrend, currently $1,872, we never imagined that the market would retrace the bull move so quickly. Over the course of just over 3 sessions, gold retreated over $200, almost exactly 10%. Our view has been for a while now that once the corrective move has shaken out the weak bulls, that gold would have another strong opportunity to buy. It will be in the next session or so whether we can ascertain if the overbought exuberance has been removed or whether there is more downside to come. With all the volatility of yesterday's session forming a small-bodied candlestick along with huge upper and lower shadows, it is still too early to say. Daily MACD and stochastics are falling, but interestingly, the RSI has begun to stabilize around 50 as the market has edged higher this morning. The importance of the old $1,940 consolidation level is also growing, as a band of resistance $1,940–$1,949 has developed in the past 24 hours. As the market settles down and the bulls can begin to pull higher through this resistance, then the outlook will begin to improve once more. It is interesting to see the hourly RSI also still under 60, and for the bulls that needs to change. There is a reaction low at $1,906 that now needs to hold too as support. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Technical analysis: will the Nikkei rebound continue? Analysis http://ntvforex.com. News ID 29D2DB 8/13/2020 11:22:54 AM. Recommendation for Nikkei index: buy stop above 23,303.4, stop loss below 21,700.2. Indicator value signal RSI NBSP neutral MACD NBSP buy Donkian channel NBSP by Ma 200 Grid NBSP NBSP Bifractals NBSP Neutral Parabolic SAR NBSP by NBSP Chart Analysis on the daily time frame. The Nikkei D1 is rising above the 200-day moving average MA 200, which is rising to self. We believe the bullish momentum will continue after the price breaches above the upper boundary of Donchian channel at 23,303.4. A level above this can be used as an entry point for placing a pending order to buy. The stop loss can be placed below 21,700.2. After placing the order, the stop loss is to be moved every day to the next fractal low, following parabolic signals. Thus, we are changing the expected profit-loss ratio to the break-even point. If the price meets the stop-loss level 21,700.2 without reaching the order 23,303.4, we recommend cancelling the order. The market has undergone internal changes which were not taken into account. NBSP Fundamental Analysis Japan's economic reports were mostly positive last week. Will the Nikkei rebound continue? NBSP want to get more free analytics. Open demo account now to get daily news and analytical materials. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me/mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. EUR/JPY moves above 126.00 on improved risk appetite at pntvforex.com. News ID 06DCC2 5 minutes ago by Pablo Piavano. EUR/JPY gathers extra pace and leaves behind the 126.00 area. The sell-off in the dollar boosts the momentum around EUR market. Attention is focused on US initial claims later in the session. The upside momentum in the European currency is lending extra wings to EUR/JPY, pushing it to fresh highs in the 126.7075 band, levels last seen in April 2019. EUR/JPY stronger on risk trends. EUR/JPY is posting gains for the third straight session on Thursday, gaining already more than 2% since weekly lows in the 124.30 zone recorded on Tuesday. Furthermore, the cross navigates its fifth consecutive week in the positive territory, leaving behind the key 200-week SMA near 124.90. The persistent weak note in the greenback in combination with the somewhat steady performance of the Japanese yen are bolstering the demand for riskier assets and underpin at the same time the upside momentum in the cross. In the Euro docket, German final CPI showed prices contracted 0.5% MOM and 0.1% on a year to July. Later in the session, the greenback is expected to remain under the microscope in light of the publication of the weekly initial claims. EUR/JPY relevant levels at the moment. The cross is gaining 0.53% at 126.64 and faces the next up barrier at 126.75. 2020 high August 13 followed by 126.80 monthly high April 17 2019 and finally 127.50 2019 high March 1. On the flip side, a drop below 122.87 monthly high January 16 would expose 121.14 monthly high March 25 and then 120.18 200-day SMA. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me/mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Patterns CAD CHF, CHF JPY, EUR CHF analysis http ntvforex.com. News ID BF1F02813 2020 11:35:49 AM. CAD CHF 4H chart tests 200. The CAD CHF exchange rate bounced off the lower boundary of a descending channel pattern at 0.6750 on July 31. The currency pair has surged by 132 pips or 1.96% during this period. All things being equal, the Canadian dollar could continue to gain strength against the Swiss franc during the following trading sessions. The potential target for bullish traders would be at the resistance cluster at 0.6949. However, the 200A period simple moving average I0.6902 could provide resistance for the currency exchange rate until the end of this week's trading sessions. NBSP CHF JPY 4H chart breakout occurs. Upside risks have continued to dominate the Swiss franc against the Japanese yen. The currency pair has surged by 183 pips or 1.59% during this week's trading sessions. A breakout occurred through the upper boundary of an ascending channel pattern on August 12. Given that a breakout had occurred, the CHF-JPY exchange rate will most likely continue to trend bullish during next week's sessions. However, the resistance level at 117.50 could provide resistance for the currency exchange rate in the shorter term. NBSP EUR CHF 4H chart ascending channel inside the EUR CHF currency pair has been trading within an ascending channel since the end of July. NBSP from a theoretical perspective, it is likely that some upside potential could prevail in the market, and the exchange rate could continue to trade within the given channel in the medium term. NBSP in the meantime, it is likely that the currency pair could face the resistance formed by the 55A and 100-hour SMAs in the 1.0770 area. In this case, the pair could target the psychological level at 1.0510. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. AUD/JPY fights long-term resistance area bearish divergence detected. Video analysis http://ntvforex.com news ID 5F9CC3813 11:32:33 AM audio IP stepped on the supportive ascending trend line earlier this week and shifted north again to fight the heavy ceiling around 76.70, which has been active since June 2016. While the RSI and the stochastics continue to consolidate within the bullish area, they have been printing lower highs over the past 2 months in contrast to the price, which has been holding around the upper surface of its range. The pattern reminds a bearish divergence structure and could be a signal that the bears are preparing to step in. What could trigger a bearish action though, is a close below the trend line currently around the 20-day simple moving average SMA at 75.65. In this case, the price could dive into the 74.85-74.00 support region, a break of which could see the retest of the 72.50 low taken from June 12 and the 200-day SMA slightly beneath. Otherwise, a bounce above the 76.70 wall could bring fresh buying into the market, with immediate resistance likely emerging near 77.50. Higher, the rally could accelerate towards the key 79.88 barrier, where the 200 SMA is flattening in the weekly chart. Summarizing, AUD/JPY seems to be facing a fading short-term bullish bias. A climb above the tough 76.70 resistance could reject that view and upgrade the short and long-term outlook instead, while a cross below the trend line could confirm it. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Global markets mixed while US rally continues. Analysis http://ntvforex.com news ID at 2F92C813 2020 11:28:13 AM top daily news. Equity markets are mixed currently after resumption of US rally Wednesday. Investors are awaiting when U.S. lawmakers will start negotiations on fresh coronavirus relief after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer said that Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin proposed a new meeting on coronavirus aid, but White House showed no willingness to budge on the size and scope of a spending package. A NBSP Forex news currency pair change: EUR USD 0.34%, GBP USD 0.29%, USD JPY 0.21%. The dollar weakening persists, currently ahead of U.S. Labor Department report expected to show 1.12 million Americans likely sought unemployment benefits over the last week. The live dollar index data show the ICE US dollar index, a measure of the dollar's strength against a basket of 6 rival currencies, lost 0.2% Wednesday as the consumer price index came in at an above expected 0.6% over month increase in July. GBP USD continued sliding yesterday as UK officially entered recession as it suffered bigger GDP slump than Germany, France, and Japan, a 20.4% over quarter in Q2. EUR USD reversed its declining despite a slower than expected 9.1% increase over month in industrial production for June. Both pairs are higher currently. AUD USD joined USD JPY continued with both pairs lower currently. NBSP stock market news indices change: Dow Jones Index 3.34%, GB 100 Index 0.28%, Hang Seng Index 0.93%. Futures on 3 main U.S. stock indexes are lower currently after a bullish session on Wednesday. Stock indexes in U.S. ended higher, led by technology shares. The 3 main U.S. stock indexes recorded gains ranging from 1.0% to 2.1%. European stock indexes are mixed currently after the US government left tariffs on Airbus and other European goods unchanged, and the Office for National Statistics reported the UK entered recession with the Q2 GDP falling 20.4% over quarter following 2.2% decline in Q1. Asian indexes are mixed today, with Australia's All Ordinaries Index leading losses after data showing consumer sentiment collapsed in August. NBSP commodity market news: commodities change: Brent crude oil 0.07%, WTI crude 0.03%. Brent is retracing lower today. Prices surged Wednesday after the U.S. Energy Information Administration report that U.S. crude oil inventories fell by 4.5 million barrels last week. Gasoline inventories declined by 700,000 barrels. The U.S. oil benchmark West Texas Intermediate WTI futures advanced September WTI gained 2.6% but is lower currently. October Brent crude closed 2.1% higher at $45.43 a barrel on Wednesday. NBSP gold market news: metals change: gold 0.76%, gold prices are pulling back today. December gold added 0.1% to $1,949 an ounce on Wednesday. NBSP want to get more free analytics. Open demo account now to get daily news and analytical materials. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. USD rally hit the buffers as yields begin to slip back once more. Video analysis: http ntvforex.com. News ID D687E2813 11:44 AM. Market overview: as the negotiations between Democrats and Republicans over fiscal support seem to be dragging and is just beginning to weigh slightly on sentiment today. Treasury yields have dropped back marginally in the process, pulling a mild bull flattening move through the yield curve. Furthermore, there is a slight pullback on equities too. With the yield curve bull flattening, a dollar rally that has been threatening in recent sessions has just taken a step back once more. This is allowing the sharp sell-off on gold to ease somewhat. The questions will begin to be asked as to whether the past few sessions have been a blip, allowing the bigger trends of dollar weakness and gold strength to renew with trend potential. It is too early to determine, but the next few days could be telling. The longer that the U.S. fiscal support package takes to agree, the more nervous that markets will become that the package will underwhelm. Wall Street closed strongly higher once more, with the S&P 500 1.4% at 3,380 and a sneeze away from the all-time high of 3,393. However, U.S. futures are a shade back this morning, with the E-mini S&P 0.2%. This has though still enabled Asian markets a positive session overnight, with the Nikkei 1.8% and Shanghai Composite 0.1%. However, European markets are looking far more cautious, with the FTSE futures 0.9% and DAX futures 0.3%. In Forex, there is a USD slip, with underperformance across major pairs aside from NZD, which is still struggling in the wake of the RBNZ. In commodities, the selling pressure on gold has stabilized with the price 0.8%, whilst silver is 1.2%. Oil closed as multi-month highs yesterday but has just paired this move today, around 0.5% lower. It is a relatively quiet day on the economic calendar. The U.S. weekly jobless claims will be of primary interest at 1330 BST, with a further improvement to 1.12 m from last week's positive surprise of 1.19 m claims. NBSP chart of the day: ANZD-USD. The Kiwi has looked rather vulnerable in the past week, and the reaction to the RBNZ meeting yesterday was a decisive downside break of the previous breakout support at 0.65850.6600. It is interesting to see that as the European session takes over today, the US dollar is ticking lower across every major pair apart from NZD-USD. Having posted a lower high at 0.6690 under 0.6715, a new negative trend of lower highs and lower lows NBSP is now beginning to take hold. Even though the market rebounded into the close last night, this looks to have been a minor technical rally within what looks to be a deteriorating outlook, and another chance to sell. The daily momentum indicators are faltering on a consistent basis now, with RSI at near 3-month lows and under 50, whilst MACD lines are falling at multi-month lows and stochastics also taking negative configuration. The market now seems to be selling into near-term strength, with yesterday's high almost 0.6600 to the pip, and this morning's early high also failing at 0.6600. It means that Tuesday's failure at 0.6625 is a gauge of increasingly important resistance, making a mini sell zone now between 0.6585–0.6625. The market looks set to test the mid-July support at 0.6500, whilst if the selling momentum really takes hold, 0.6370 comes into play. NBSP Brent crude oil: we still see the bulls willing to support weakness in oil, but struggling to really push the recovery forward. Despite this though, there has been a closing price above $45.20, which finally closed to the bear gap at $45.20. Despite several intraday attempts to achieve this in the past week, the failure to close the gap has been a concern. But now the bulls can begin to cast their gaze higher and target resistance levels overhead. Brent closing this gap and closing at a multi-month high now means that there is very little resistance of note until into the $50s. The initial barrier of intraday highs of the past week still needs to be overcome between $45.80 $46.25, but the next real resistance beyond this is not until $53.10 $53.80. We are still mindful of the tendency for false starts in the rally and look to use weakness as a chance to buy. The hourly chart shows $44.25 $44.40 as initial support. The low at $42.90 is of greater significance, whilst $41.30 is still key near term. NBSP Dow Jones Industrial Average: after Tuesday's wobble, the bulls got back on track yesterday with a solid day of gains once more. With the breakout above the old June high of 27,580, the market has given the breakout a seal of approval, as it has used the break level as a basis of support. It now strengthens the importance of the band between 27,070 and 27,580 to be seen as a zone of underlying demand. Daily momentum remains strong, with the RSI consistently high 60s, stochastics above 80, whilst MACD accelerate higher. Futures may be consolidating today, but the bulls will be eyeing a push above 28,155 Tuesday's high whilst also looking to close February's bear gap of 28,418,890. We look to use weakness as a chance to buy. The hourly chart shows support 27,580, 27,625 initially. NBSP read more analysis here. Euro USD, GBP USD, USD JPY, Gold. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. The currency market Euro USD VXRT analysis http ntvforex.com news ID CF5D76813 11:53:15 AM Euro USD broke higher above its 5-year average at 1.1282 and traded to January 1900. SDXY broke below its 5-year average at 96.39 and traded lower to 92.00. Euro 10 US dollars year average is located at 1.2180 while DXY 10-year average is located at 89.22. Euro USD at 1.1800 is within 300 pips of its 10-year average while DXY at 92.00 is within 300 pips to its 10-year average. DXY break of its 10-year average, then tough supports exist at 88.39 and 87.98. Euro USD break of its 10-year average, then next comes 1.2250, 1.2321 and 1.2462 and just ahead of the midpoint at NBSP 1.2745. Euro USD currently trades between 1.1282 and 1.2180 while DXY trades between 89.22 and 96.39 at its 5-year average. The Euro USD midpoint is located at 1.1731 and dropping by 4 pips each week while DXY midpoint is located at 92.80. DXY currently trades between 93.52 and next low average at 91.98 or from 93.52 to 95.70. For DXY 93.52 is its most vital average to determine lower of higher. Below 91.98 then next comes 90.56, NBSP 89.22 and 88.39. The lower DXY trades then volatility picks up steam while the higher Euro USD trades then the higher is volatility, and it's a factor of both DXY and Euro USD ranges. Euro USD currently ranges right at 428 pips while DXY ranges at 279 pips. Euro USD and DXY don't trade a 1-for-1 pip move. Euro USD is overbought from 1.1282 while DXY is oversold from 96.39. Euro USD is more overbought than DXY is oversold, but again a factor to ranges. Good lower targets for Euro USD are located at 1.1628 and 1.1557 while good targets for DXY is located right at 95.70. A break higher at 95.70 targets the 5-year average at 96.39. Determination time is here as Euro USD breaks its 10-year average at 1.2180 and travels higher, or it fails and trades back to its 5-year average at 1.1282. Or DXY breaks its 10-year average and trades lower to 88.00, or it fails and trades back to its 5-year average at 96.39. The entire G28 pair currency market and 40 most significant M currencies are waiting for the resolution. If 10-year average breaks occur, then a new trend begins, and a failure means significant moves back to 5-year averages. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Cryptocurrencies price prediction: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cosmos. A European wrap. 13 August. Tuesdayvዄ News ID 707A751 minutes ago. Bitcoin price prediction: BTC USD. Bitcoin hits barriers as selected altcoins rally. Bitcoin price has not been able to rise above short-term barriers at $11,600. However, recovery from the levels slightly above $11,100 was steady. The largest cryptocurrency is holding above $11,500 and trading at $11,530 at the time of writing. Since the beginning of the week, the mission has been to sustain action beyond $12,000, but Bitcoin bulls lost balance, giving way to the dive towards $11,000. NBSP. Read more. NBSP Ethereum price forecast: ETH/USD dives to refresh $380 support. Ethereum has been rejected once again from the resistance range between $390 and $400. Bulls had recovered most of the lost ground after ETH dived to $370 earlier in the week. However, with the entire market in gains trimming mode, Ether has been forced to join the party. At the time of writing, ETH/USD is trading at $381 because the tentative support area at $385 also gave into the increased selling activities. NBSP. Read more. NBSP. Cosmos price analysis: Atom USD soars past $6 as the focus shifts to $7. Cosmos price hitting $5.50 seems to have been a threshold limit for takeoff to highs above $6. The delay at $5.50 saw the crypto go back to the drawing board, where it found balance at $4.69 and aided by an ascending trend line. The relaunched upward momentum hit levels above $5.50. A consistent trend has been sustained with the price spiking past $6. NBSP. Read more. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. S&amp 500 spotlight on the 3,394 record high with scope for an overshoot to 3,436. A credit Suisse at ntvforex.com. News ID 3B03684 4 minutes ago by NTV Forex team. The S&amp 500 index has quickly and abruptly negated Tuesday's bearish A reversal dia, turning the spotlight on the 3,394 record high. Whilst momentum is starting to slow, economists at Credit Suisse see scope for a move to test the 3,432.36 mark, which is expected to cap for a consolidation phase. Key quotes: A. Whilst we continue to see signs upward momentum is slowing and the market is now above what we see as its atypical extreme 10% above its 200-day average, currently at 3,368, we look for a challenge on the 3,394 record high, with scope for an overshoot to potential trend resistance, today seen at 3,412, which we would look to cap at first. A. NBSP. A bigger picture, our ideal roadmap would be for a test of Fibonacci projection resistance at 3,432.36, but with this then capping for a consolidation corrective phase. A. NBSP. A support at 3,371 needs to hold to keep the immediate risk higher. Below can see a retreat back to the beginning of the price gap from yesterday morning at 3,355. Overall though, key near-term support is seen at the recent low and 13-day average at 3,326.12, and only a close below here would suggest a correction lower is finally underway. A. NBSP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors. Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. US eyeing record territory again. Analysis http ntvforex.com. News ID EDBB 53813 2020 11:59:37 AM. Equity markets recovered strongly on Wednesday, buoyed by encouraging inflation data from the US that assuaged deflation fears. Red flags had been popping up in equity markets, so it was important that we saw the kind of response we were treated to yesterday. In the S&amp, an outside day candle was followed by a new high for the week and a close above Tuesday's open, falling just shy of record territory in both cases. The Dow also closed above Tuesday's open, falling just short of a new high for the week, while the Nasdaq ended a 3-day losing streak. Just what the doctor ordered. I wouldn't necessarily say that renders the warning signs null and void, but I'm sure a lot of people will be feeling much more at ease today. A new high in the Nasdaq and S&amp today would undoubtedly add another layer of comfort at a time of volatility across a number of markets, not least precious metals. NBSP gold slowly bounces back, but scars may take time to heal. We are continuing to see a bounce back in previous metal markets, although there is still some way to go to get back to last week's peak. Treasury yields have remained off their lows, which is likely holding back prices. Not to mention the fact that earlier this week is living fresh in the memory of those that jumped on the bandwagon only to be burned when it collapsed in flames. Wounds can take a little time to heal. I remain bullish, and the softer dollar that's re-emerging will only aid this, particularly if the index can drop below 92.50, which has provided strong support the last couple of weeks. NBSP oil climb will be gradual and Nikkei swoosh recovery. Oil prices are off a little today but generally holding up well around the upper end of their range. EIA reported an inventory decline in line with API on Wednesday, giving crude prices another leg higher. It wasn't enough to break out of the summer range, but it does keep the pressure on. Progress from here may be a little slower as confidence in the economy continues to be repaired. New surges of COVID cases have so far been relatively well contained without the need for the kind of draconian measures that was widely adopted earlier this year. This will only build confidence in the ability of the economy to bounce back, that and a vaccine, of course. We'll have to wait for the latter, and the former will be gradual. As much as we all love a V-shaped recovery, we'll likely have to settle for something more resembling the Nikkei swoosh. Not bad under the circumstances, really. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5Expert Advisors page at https://mt5.expert.advisors.